Hey everyone, Annabelle here with Dot Belly Knits. I said that if I could remember and had the opportunity, I would show you what it would look like when it was time to pick up the stitches for the gusset. Moving has commenced and some of the items have already been taken, like the table that I used last time to video. So here we are on the windowsill in my bedroom. So here's the socks so far. There's that nice little line that I was telling you about using the Turkish cast on, which is what I use. I just use 2 circular needles instead of one really long one that people would use one really long needle if they were doing magic loop method. So it's basically the same method, but I really like this line that you get in the front of the sock. It kind of makes it look like a commercial made sock, but it's not. This is the gorgeous yarn from Dye Candy in the color Say Hello to Pavlov. I'm really loving the way this is turning out. I'm super jelly that they're not for me. I'm obviously going to need to get another skein and make a pair for myself. The sock pattern that I'm using is called the Customizable Toe Up Sock Pattern. It's by Jana Knits. I will put, of course, information for everybody that I talk about in the description box below. I really like this pattern. I just discovered it. And like I showed you in the last video, what I do is I measure the person's foot. I decide how many stitches that I need to have for the sock entirety, and that's where I start. So like for this sock I need 52 stitches in total, so I started with the cast on and I wrapped 26 times, so I would have 26 stitches on the front and 26 stitches on the back of the needle. I do wrap and turn short rows to make this little cap for the toe, and then I join in around and I go until this part here. This is what I love about the sock pattern. She shows you how you can do a reinforced heel on the bottom part of the sock, and then you turn the heel, and then you can continue with the reinforced pattern on the back of the heel, and then you know you've got your gusset that you're going to do your gusset, and then the it's early, people, I only had 1 cup of coffee. And then you can do the calf part of your sock. Okay, so here I am. I've done I've knit up all the way around until the pattern calls for. I've done the reinforced bottom part of the heel, and I've turned the heel. So now I'm ready to pick up the gusset stitches. And I said I wanted to show this because I continue to do this even though I'm only using 2 circular needles, and probably a 3rd or a 4th needle would be helpful, and that's how some people, including myself, learn to do it, so that you have a needle for the gusset stitches on each side. But you know, that's a lot of needles, and why use them if you don't have to? So here I am. I've turned the heel, I'm ready to go. I'm going to continue with the pattern for the reinforced heel, and I'm going to knit over to the first part where I'm going to pick up the gusset stitches. Actually, I'm knitting and slipping, and again I will put in information so you can go and find this pattern for yourself, and you can decide whether you want to follow it exactly or not, because as she says, it's kind of like a recipe, not a pattern. So right, I've gone across the back of my heel. I'm ready to pick up gusset stitches. What I do is I decide that I will pick up all the gusset stitches for the left hand side of the sock on this needle, and then I pick up all the gusset stitches for the right hand sock on the other needle. ends up making the sock look kind of squashed and flat as you're working it, but it works out. Again, the pattern gives you instructions on these slip stitches that makes this beautiful, oh, get out of my way, needle, makes this beautiful ladder that helps you really pick up the gusset stitches. Makes it super simple. Okay, so this is the one, I'm still working with the same needle, the one circular needle that my work is currently on. The other one's just hanging there. So I don't have my glasses on, which is probably not a good thing. So I use this needle that I just worked, and for me, I start putting it inside the ladders, wrapping and pulling through. Pretty much everywhere that there's a ladder, see now, like that's gonna make a big hole, so I'll probably try to, there we go, that's better. And you know, if you go back around the next time and you feel like there's a big hole there and it shouldn't be, pick up some yarn, just stick your needle in there and see if you can close up the gap. This is the time to do that. Just trying to keep in center. This is the time to do that, to pick up places, pick up yarn in places so that you don't have gaps in your work. So that's it for that part. So I just keep going down the line, keep going down the ladder basically that's been formed for you with all them slip stitches on the side until you get to the end. Sorry about the camera coming in and out of focus. I was trying to figure out how to turn the autofocus feature off. I haven't figured that part out yet. Watched a YouTube video, surprise, surprise, and it didn't work. So, still working on that. As you know, if you are a return viewer, this is only my second tutorial, and I'm literally standing in the window of my front room and my neighbors are staring at me like I'm crazy, which they probably already know. Okay, so like I was just saying, here I am. I've picked up all the stitches in my ladder, the nice little ladder stitches on the side. So I've picked up, technically I've picked up all the gusset stitches, but you see, like, here's a space here. Like, I know that's going to leave a space if I don't do something about it. So I'm literally just going to, and if you look this up, you'll find all kinds of techniques. I know I've watched a video on it, or 2, or 3, or 10, on how to keep holes forming in your socks. So take a look around. I'm sure you'll find a method that speaks to you and that you like. But I try to I just kind of stick the needle in and see what happens and pick up an extra stitch so that I get closer to where I'm going to actually be joining the front part of the sock. I feel like I want one more, but yeah, let me see. Yeah, I might do that. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to need some assistance from the other needle. There we go. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and I can continue to fiddle with that when I get around to the front part. So I just pull the needle through. Now you can see here's the gusset stitches for the right side of the sock. If it was on the person's foot, this would be the right side, so that's why I'm calling it right side. I'm going to ignore that for now because I ignored it on this one. I'm going to pick them up on the next needle. I'm only working on the left side of the gusset stitches right now. And that's what you'll have when you're done. You'll basically have all your stitches picked up, and all the left side gusset stitches will be on one needle, all the right side gusset stitches will be on the other circular needle. I'm following the pattern for the back of the heel, the reinforced back of the heel, slipping and knitting, going over to the left hand side of the sock for gusset stitches there. Here we are again. Got that beautiful ladder that'll make it easy to pick up the gusset stitches. And I'm going to repeat. So I'm going to pause the video here and get the gusset stitches on the sock, and then show you what it looks like when all the gusset stitches have been picked up on both circular needles. So hang on. Okay, and I'm back. Second cup of coffee in, glasses on. This should be a better second half of the video. So I've picked up all the gusset stitches on the left side and the right side of the sock. And as you can see, kind of makes it crunches the sock up, kind of has them hanging off like little flags in the wind. So it's kind of weird, especially if you're used to using multiple needles to do this part, at least, of the sock. However, I still really like this method because of the fact that I only have 2 needles. The needles are super flexible. I can scrunch it up and stick it into a flexible bag like this. You know, I'm always reusing stuff. This is a Soap Nuts bag. So this is really flexible, and then I can squish it all in and stick it inside a bag. I've always felt like with the straight needles, that was a problem. I was going to lose a needle, it was going to fall out, it was going to poke somebody, and that was why I adopted using ice cream pots to keep the socks in, because it would kind of give that hard outer shell that I needed. But this literally gives me more flexibility, and I don't worry about losing stitches off the needle. However, but what you do need to remember is, so I picked up all the gusset stitches along the left side of the sock here, and then I picked up all the gusset stitches on the other needle on the right side of the sock. Now, when you go to do the decreases for the gussets, the decrease stitches happen right up against the stitches for the foot, the top of the foot. So I put these little stitch markers here in place, cute little stitch markers. These are from Wee One's Creations. I've had these for years. These are my favorite. She, oh my gosh, her stuff is just really great. I will include her Instagram account in here so you can check out her work. But I put the markers there just to remind me that to stop like knitting, and this will be where the decrease happens for the gusset stitches on this side. It's certainly easier to remember on the back side because you just, you know, knit till you get to the end, and then that's where your decrease would begin. So anywho, I hope that you have liked this video. Again, this is something new that I'm trying, and I'm kind of doing this and trying this, especially since I'm in the middle of moving. And I don't have my, you know, regular setup, regular things. And to be honest, I'm not even sure how much knitting I'm going to be getting done at this time. But you know what? I was in the middle of this sock for oldest daughter's birthday, so I figured I would record the videos and let people see how it is that I make socks 2 at a time on the short circular needles. So if you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, give it a big thumbs up, and then, you know, tap the little bell so you'll know every time I put out a new video. Hopefully I'll be able to continue to record regularly on a, but you know, we'll see how things go. Again, if you're an existing viewer, I really appreciate you coming back to see me and see what I'm doing. And if you're a new viewer, I hope you have liked what you've seen. Absolutely, please put comments in the comments box below. Let me know about the setup. Let me know about the camera. Let me know maybe what you would like to see in the future. So until next time, I hope you stay healthy and well. I hope you get some great crafting in whatever it is that you do. And we'll see you next time here on Doll Belly Knits. Bye.